Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here because today I'm going to answer some tricky question of the book tag. The book tag is named 54321 and a lot of people made the answers for this book tag, and they decided to choose answers about all of genres which they read, but I decided to make my videos only about my favorite genre, detective and thrillers, and I decided to answer for this question just about these genres. So, but if you wanna know about other genres which I love, which I read, and which a lot of favorite books I have, you just let me know in the comments, and I of course made another video about this book tag with answering about another genres. So let's talk today about detective and thrillers, and I want to tell you that we have just only 5 questions with not a lot of books recommendations from me, and I want to tell that I read tons of detective and thrillers during my life, and actually when I just saw the questions I was in a bit shock for understanding what book I wanted to recommend, what is my favorite book, because I really have a lot of favorite books, a lot of recommendations for you. So let's try to do like this one, because today I decided to make and choose a lot of books which I really wanted to share with you, and which I actually read this year, because I really think that this year for detective and thrillers was really cool. So let's start with the first question. The first question is the five favorite thrillers and detectives. So I want to tell you, and I want to start with Harley Jackson and A Good Guy's Guide to Murder. So I think that is the greatest story about the teenagers, about the things, about the past secrets, about some moments which you really enjoy. And I really love that the story written in interactive genre, when we have a lot of maps, cards, when we have a lot of messages, when we have a lot of things which our main character Pippa decided to do for her useful moments for understanding what's going on in the story. So I really love this story, and I don't think that I need to tell a lot of wonderful words about the story, because a lot of people read it and everybody excited. I was really excited when I bought this story, and I just eat it up for one day, and I was so enjoyed this one, and I decided to buy another stories, another parts of this trilogy, and I actually want to say that it could be my favorite trilogy. And I didn't like the finishing line, the third one, because for me it was a bit shocking, a bit of strange to see people in such way like author made her. But actually I enjoyed all trilogy. But if I wanted to answer the question, my favorite book, and the first one would be The Good Guy's Guide to Murder, because it's really a really cool story. So if you haven't read, just pay your attention to this story. The next story is A Girl in the Letter, and actually I also eat it up in one day, because the story was so gloomy, was so dark, was so atmospheric, was so gothic, and I was really enjoyed all things which the author made. And also there are a lot of historical aspects about girls who just started to be pregnant, and a lot of families decided not to know about all these things, nothing, and they decided to just put these girls in the one place where they can just born the baby, do other things, and after some moments they need to come back home without kid, because this kid must be adopted by another families. So I really love the story, because our main character, she is in our time, found a letter from the lady from the past, from the girl who was pregnant, and she was in this shocking situation, and she actually loved her boyfriend, he actually loved her child, and she really loved to be pregnant, but her parents decided in another way. And in one moment we just see her story in this horrible place where she lived with other girls also pregnant. What did they do, how did they work, what other people must do with this girl. So actually this story was so enjoyable, but in another way also hard because of the theme. But actually this wonderfully 5 out of stars, it's easily 5 out of stars, and I was really enjoying the author after this story, and I read other books of her after the reading this one. So if you haven't read The Girl in the Letter, so I just highly recommend this to your story, because actually this story is so dark, and if you wanted to read something in November, it would be really cool for the atmosphere. The next story, which is one of my favorite, is Ruth Ware and One by One. It's snowy thriller about the company of the people. They are not friends, but they colleagues, and they work together. They work together on the application, and in the one moment they decided to go to the mountains, to have ski, to snowboarding, to relax a bit, and just in one moment decided to discuss moments which connect with the application, with the business, and so on. In one moment something horrible happened, and a lot of people start to think that it's not an accident and probably there are a murderer. So I really love the atmosphere of the hotel in the mountains, the snowy weather, the avalanche, the moments where people need to survive because they can understand that somebody between them really a bad person, could be a murderer, and they need to save their life. So I really love the Ruth Ware's books, and this is one of my favorite one because I really enjoyed it. And I actually not a reader who reads books till moments when I read them in a special weather, and I don't remember that I read this story in winter time. But actually, if you're a reader who likes to read seasonally, you also need to pay your attention to the book one by one, because there are a lot of snow, a lot of avalanche, a lot of cold moments, and a lot of actually enjoying moments when people just relax, they're just happy, have fun, and they ski, they snowboarding, and really enjoy the moments where they are. So actually the story is really cool, and I really highly recommend you this one. The fourth book which I wanted to recommend you, which is my favorite one, it's the Lamplights, and the story which I also ate up in one day, because the story, the mystery, the thriller moments, and the atmosphere was really cool. So we are with a company of the people work on the lamp house, and in one moment when one group of the people need to change, another one who now working on the lamp house, they just when came can understand that nobody are there. It's just silence, no one person, and everything looks like people were living their natural life. They worked, and because the dinner was cooked, because the clock was stopped, other things with the deals connected was stopped doing, and it seems like the people just missed when they did things which they must do for the job moments. And it was really interesting because all this mystery line with all these people, because we till the end we don't know what's happened with these people, why they missed, was it a mystery, was it a mystic, was it something magical moments probably. And actually I'm like a reader was eaten up because I was so interested in the moment, where are the people, what's going on there. And the main mystery was how the people just missed because they didn't have a boat, they didn't have other transport, and they at the lamp house, so they far from the land. And actually I love the story moments when the author gives us information about different people, different colleagues who were on this team, who work together, who are they, about their habits, about their wishes, about their past life moments. And it was really cool because I was so enjoyable for understanding, could I guess what's going on, could I guess what's happened, and could I guess who is a bad person probably from the list of these team guys who work together. So it's a really cool story, and I think that I will reread this in one time because I really enjoy it. And the last, my favorite book, The Favs, is Into the Water, Paula Hawkins. I read this book 3 times. I'm a reader who rarely reread stories, but this story was so wonderful for me because I really love the style of writing, I really love the story, I really love the description of a small town where our main character girl need to come because her sister just died in the water, and in this water, in this area, we have a cliff and the water, and something bad happen all the time in this area which connect with the girls who most of the time drown in there. And it was really interesting why girls missed in this water, what's going on, and all of this mystery line was really cool, and I really enjoyed the story. And every time when I reread the story, I read this like in the first moment, and for me really cool to have the atmosphere of the place where we are. So our main character, she needs to come to this small town for the funerals and to take care about the daughter of her sister, because she is small and she needs some help. So that's why our girl decided that she needs to adopt her, her, but in one moment she can understand that something not so cool in this town, and she actually doesn't like this town. She doesn't like some people who live there, and she can understand that she need to solve the problem and try to find the answers for the questions: what's going on with her sister, what's going on with her in this day when she was drawing. So the cool story, and I love Paula Hawkins. I read all of her 3 stories and I need to read a new one, so that's why I'm so excited about the author and that I have a new story which I need to read by her. So the next question: 4 books from your TBR. So I had some books from my TBR in the video which I had on my channel. It was what I wanted to read in the fall season. So actually I continue to have them because I didn't have a lot of time for reading them, but I'm sure that I will finish them in these months. So first one, it's David Bell and Somebody I Used to Know, and the story is really interesting by Anastasia because we have a man who in one moment just went to the supermarket and saw a lady, and he started to think that he knows her because she is so looking like the girl which he met a lot of years ago and which is died. So now he needs to understand what's going on, who is this lady, and actually this lady, just after some period of meeting with this guy in the supermarket, decided to go to the police and said something badly about him, and the police will come to him for the questioning about what's going on, why he asks such strange question to this lady, and try to solve the problem about the past and which connecting with the present. So I really love the annotation, but I haven't read no one stories by David Bell and would be meeting with new author. So the next story is the second part of the series. It's Black Summer. So the first part was the puppet show, and the first part was really enjoyable, was really excellent about the detective line, and I think that all wonderful things will connect with the main characters, because main characters, there are a lot of them, if I'm not mistaken 3, and they're really cool with enjoyable moments. Of course there's a bit of cliches, but they are okay. And the main character is Washington Poe. He is a detective, and in the one story he was a really perfectly person who just told you the story about all what's happened. So the second part is a Black Summer. It's a story about the person who just in the prison. In a lot of years ago, Washington Poe just they just caught him and put him in a prison for the murder of his daughter, the daughter of this man. And so he's in a prison for murdering his daughter, and Washington Poe is thinking that everything is okay, and he was right. But after a lot of years ago, a lady comes to the police officer and said that she is this girl and she is the daughter of this person from the prison. And after this moment she just missed, and Washington Poe started to think what's going on, how it could be, what is going on with this lady, and was it true what's happened a lot of years ago with the murdering of this girl. So I think this story would be really eat it up for me, because I remember the first part of this series. I was reading this for a couple of days and I was really enjoying it. So the Black Summer would be the next one in my reading, and the next one after reading the Black Summer, I want to take the third part of the series. It's The Curator, and this story would be about the serial killer, and of course again about Washington Poe, about the main character of this series. Also I enjoy the annotation of this story because the first sentences is connected with the Christmas, like it's Christmas time and something happened, and I understood that I need to read this in the Christmas time and it would be really perfect. I hope that I will have this chance and I will enjoy this story by the reading in the Christmas time. So the serial killer would be a really bad guy, and he would kill a lot of people and just put their parts in the different parts of the city, and Washington Poe need to understand what's going on and who is this serial killer. But his colleagues start to think that he meet with not just serial killer, but this person is more worse and worse, and the name of the serial killer is the Curator. So actually I don't know about this Curator, what's going on there and what is the serial killer would be there, but I hope that it would be really cool to read about the Christmas, about the serial killer, and I think and I hope that Washington Poe would be a really great person in this part too. So, and the last story which I want to read, it's the book book of cold cases, Simmons and James, After the Broken Girls. I'm just in love in her writing style and atmosphere, in the story, in the historical moments which she liked to put there, and of course about the mystery. And I really enjoy the annotation there, and I think that in nearest future, in my maybe after 2 weeks, I decided to take this story because the story connect with interesting moments about some murder in the past. Something happened, but police haven't found a lot of answers for the questions, and the lady who just probably could be a murderer, she just living alone, and police decided that she is innocent, and the lady just decided to live somewhere removed from other people and from the villages. But in one moment she started to ill and she need to go to the hospital, and in this hospital she meet another main girl. She is a fan of true crime stories, and she has a side about this one. And when she understood that this person who came to the hospital, this lady who was in this murdering, she understood that she need to ask her a lot of questions, and they start to meet a lot of days, and the woman decided to tell her story. So I think it would be something interesting, and I'm sure that it would be like past line and present line. I love when the authors have this. So I really enjoy all these 4 books in my TBR, and I hope that they would be really cool. So the third question is 3 books recommendation. So the first books I want to recommend you is Hold My Hand, in the story which connect with a lot of scary moments which connect with the clowns, because the beginning of the story is an entertainment and the fair, and the little girl just saw how the clown took a boy by the hand and going somewhere, and after some period the girl understood that boy missed and nobody can find him. After a lot of years ago, this girl just grown up and she started to be a detective, and she works in police, and she continue feeling herself guilty for the missing of this boy, because she didn't tell anybody in this moment about the clown and about the boy. So, and now started to happen something strangely, because was found a skeleton of the boy in a red t-shirt, and the girl remembers that in the moment with the clown, the boy was in a red t-shirt too. So she decided to take this case and understood what's going on. I really love the story. I was really enjoyed the reading part, and I was really interested in the moments how the detective works there, because actually her line as a detective was really cool without a lot of useless things, because she didn't do other stupid moments. She just like a normally and cool detective decided to just solve the problem and find the missed boys. So I really highly recommend you this story. The second one is I Know Everything. It's a story which I just read so shockingly for me, surprisingly, because actually I didn't know anything about the author and about all this story, and as I understood after the reading the story, it's the second part of the series, but actually for me it wasn't so bad that I actually haven't read the first one. So Everything I Know, it's a really cool story which connect with the psychological people, with the scientists who connect with the murderers, and they need to find a new way how to control the murderers, and after the crimes they need to do something like hypnotize them or other moments which connect with the brain, and after some moments the murderers could be a normal people without any moment that they wanted to do another crime. And the second line is connect with a lady who just had a car accident and she died, and she was a really popular girl. She was a really rich girl and everybody knows her in this area, and her husband were the scientists who work with the murders and with these experimental moments. I really love this story because we have a lot of experiments which connect with the murderers, and we have a lot of chapters which connect with the work of the people who just connect with this experiment. And also I enjoy the past line which connect with the line of this girl when she was alive, and how she connected with other people and connected with her husband. So it's really cool story. The third one is The Nanny. Is a story which I really eat it up in one day, and I highly recommend you the story because it was so atmospheric, it was so gothic, it was so interesting for understanding what's going on there, because we have a past line when a little girl just woke up in the morning and understood that she nanny is missed, and actually she can found anything from her things, clothes and other moments, and when she asked the question to her parents said that that she was a bad girl, and the nanny decided to break up everything with this family. And after some moments, after a lot of years ago, our girl, she's grow up, she has her own daughter, and in one moment she had problems with her husband because he was died, and she had problems with documents because she was in another country, and she decided to come back to this big cottage to her mom, and she tries to find answer for the questions of what's going on with the nanny, especially in one day she and her daughter just decided to flown on the boat near with the river, in the river near with this cottage, and she found a skeleton of a girl, and she actually was killed in the moment when the nanny was missed. And our main girl started to think that this skeleton is her nanny. So really highly recommend this story. It's a really atmospheric, dark, gloomy, and if you wanted to read something like this in November, just pay attention to the nanny. The next question is two last books with 5 stars. So the one is The Guest House. I had a vlog for this story, and actually I was enjoying it, and a lot of days I remember what's going on there, because actually I love the atmosphere of a small house somewhere in a wood, in remote moments from other villages and cities. A lot of characters which connect with something, and they meet the first time in this house, because it's like hotel, but in the hotel they were alone without any staff, without any help, and they needed to spend time there. But of course in one moment something bad happened, and people start to die. A really cool story, and it's so really wonderful to read the story, because I was really enjoying it because of the atmosphere. The second book, which the last take 5 stars, was The Broken Girl, Simmons and James, and it's really cool story. So what can I say? I started to be a fan of the author after this moment of reading, because I like style of writing, atmosphere, a lot of moments which connect with the past, and in the present we can see some moments which connect with the past. So I really love the idea of the author, and I really love that in this thriller we have a mystery line which connect with the ghost, with these estranging moments, with supernatural moments, and it's actually so natural in this story. That's why I really enjoyed reading Broken Girls. I couldn't understand till the end what's going on. Is it real or not? What about the ghost? Is the ghost real or not? Or probably it's something happened with the girls in this college, because the story connect with the past line when we have girls. They were so friendly to each other, and in one moment one girl missed, and everybody just started to think that she missed and she ran away with the man, but these girls understood that she probably died and something happened with her. So actually it's a wonderful story. So I really in love in this one, and I'm sure that in one moment of my life I will reread this story. So in the last question, one book is a current reading. So I have one thriller now, because I'm in the process of reading another genre, and I continue reading Hidden Pictures. I just put away this story for a month, and now I come back to this one because I can understand what's going on there, because I've had tons of the positive reviews for this story, a lot of wonderful moments that people say that it's really scary, and actually I agree with them, because I remember to read this story, and I remember a lot of pictures in the beginning, because all the story connect with a small boy who just like drawing, and in one moment and you nanny can understand that something bad happened with this boy, because his drawing started to be gloomy, more dark, they started to be more depressed, and in one moment she can understand that on one drawing she see the murderer moment, that somebody just took into that body, and from this moment she started to be brave to understand what's going on, was it true or not. Probably the boy was a witness of some murder moments. I really enjoy reading the story, and actually I don't know why I put away for a month, so I need to finish this one, because I'm sure that I will love the story. So I answer for all 5 questions of this wonderful tag, and I really excited about books which I showed you today, and I really hope that you can find something for your reading, for maybe your TBR of November or December, because actually I'm like a person who likes thrillers and detectives, like read detectives and thrillers all around the year, because for me detective and thrillers, it's stories which can help me to relax, to breathe a bit, and try to try to be a detective and try to find your skills in detective lines, like could I understood what's going on in the story or not. So I really enjoy all these books, so that's why I decided to take only this one. So hope you enjoyed this video and found something interesting for your reading time. So thank you for watching my videos, and bye.